Jalen, it's a pleasure to meet you, and I'm excited for you to be welcomed into the NFL. Your
Thank
career is
you.
so impressive. You are an impressive, impressive young man. 3 seasons. You're one of just two quarterbacks to have 40 passing touchdowns and 30 rushing touchdowns. What is the one thing about playing the quarterback position that you take the most pride in personally?
I think it's the preparation. I think that's so key. Your confidence grows out the roof as you prepare. And so I just look at it as far as the preparation it took, the details that it took, and also acknowledging, what's all involved with the process. I'm very consistent when it comes to how I prepare. I have a schedule of what I put all into it. Each day is dedicated to different things when it comes to preparational phase.
Mm.
Um, And so I'm just really, diligent to what I look at and what I do as far as my body and how I prepare. And so it's misinterpreted for sure, especially because you look, I played on Saturdays, so you just see the physical aspect of, the performance, but not all involved of what goes on during the week. And so I think, it's the habits and the preparational phases that I use during college. I'm going to use in the NFL and also use, different different, helpful habits and stuff like that with veterans and coaches as well. So I think that's something, that hasn't been seen, but that's how I've been able to constantly just continue to grow. It's different from having a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. It's all about the people that surround you, and so
Okay.
you learn. And so that's what I say.
There might be some interesting people surrounding you if you go to the Giants. I know that you had a private workout with them last week. How would you grade yourself on the mental pop quiz that I'm sure Coach Dable threw at you?
Yeah, for sure. They definitely want to tell you, understand your intelligence, how much you love football. And I told them, I said, look, when you evaluating this process, you got to evaluate someone that loves football because they don't, they're gonna break. I told them that straight up, verbatim. And they
Wow.
said they all smiled, looked at each other, said, "You're right." I said, "I know." So, so no, but their process is for sure. The intelligence piece, you got to prepare, you got to understand their system inside and out. You got to be able to know everyone's responsibility, because that ideally, like when you get in a huddle, you have to take full command of your
Hmm.
operation. You got to build the trust. You got to run the show. Ideally, the coach is not out there, so the stuff that you take from the meeting room, on everything as a whole, when you're not around the coaches, you take command of the huddle, and so it's just the reinforcement when you're having these meetings that you know what you're talking about, which how to operate, and then of course you're trying to see how you
Mm.
view football and how they can coach you. So, this preparational phase of draft prep, I think it's just their evaluation, seeing how I can coach you, and so.
How do you evaluate how you did with the Giants? Pretty well. Are you happy with it?
Yeah, yeah, I am.
I mean, I bet you Malik Neighbors, who you're friendly with, went against him a bunch too, but I bet he's pushing the Giants front office to draft you.
Yeah.
You know he is.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
Might be true.
It might be true. I know. I just figured I'm like the way you two talk about each other, you really
Right.
respect his game. Has he said great? What has he sold you on with New York?
Look, the thing about his game is very unique. He comes into the league with so many great skills, unique skill set, the competitiveness edge,
Yeah.
all those things that he has at the receiver position, I like at quarterback. And then we're both competitive. And so that competitive spirit from coming from LSU to Alabama on one roster is going to push, everyone on the team.
Yeah.
And so, it's definitely, if, I could choose, I'd love to play with them. But, and then also we have a relationship. So
Of
it'd be cool.
course.
Just come in the locker room, we have a relationship with a guy.
Wait, stop. I can't imagine you and Jameis and Russell in the quarterback room.
Hey, look, that would be the funniest room in the NFL. Like, hands down, that would be the best room.
Who would give a better speech, you or Jameis? Russell's been there, done that, but like Jameis gives iconic energy. Can you match that? Surpass that?
Look, you gotta respect those that pay the way, so I can let him run the show. And so I give, when he speaks, I'm gonna echo what he's saying. So when it's
Yeah.
time, and then it's when it's time for me to be heard. But till then, I'm a reinforce, what boss man gotta say, and the old heads in the room.
I love that. You're friends with some old heads in the room. I mean, I don't know that I'd call Bryce Young an old head, but Jalen Hurts, a now
Yeah,
Super Bowl champion. There's a lot of comps to be made. People, there's a lot of similarities, I think, on the paths. This is a Super Bowl champion. What have you gotten out of your conversations with Jalen?
yeah. Um, First off, everybody's story is different. Um, what's for you is for you, and no one can take that away. No
Mm.
matter who we are, who you like try to compare. Their journey is your journey. And so we embark our journey differently. But it's the process to allowing someone to be from good to great.
Mm.
And it's the phases that people miss. We loosely say someone is great and the GOAT status. We loosely say that, but we don't understand what involved with that process. And so, for a player to be great, they have to maximize their mental toughness. They got to maximize how well they gel with other guys on their team. They got to uplift people. There's two ways to leadership: it's lifter and a puller. And you got to have that with playing a quarterback position. And it's heavy to the one that wears a crown. And that's definitely something that you
Mm.
have playing quarterback. And if you look at him, he's always even killed. Like nothing breaks him. Despite what anybody got to say, it's always the same Jalen Hurts. And I appreciate him, just the relationship, and him always being a supporter of mine. And
Mhm.
that's always big. I'm big on my circle, and so he's a part of my circle. So no, I appreciate it.
I love that. I love hearing that. You started a brand, by the way. You're an entrepreneur as well called, I think is it called Lank?
Yeah,
No,
Link.
Lank. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, first of all, I need that. I'm gonna need to rock that. It's you and like my favorite guy from last year, Terry and Arnold.
yeah.
It's let all naysayers know. I really like, we're talking about Jalen being, even keeled, unbothered, but what do you want to let naysayers know about this idea, this label that I think you unfairly get that you are some sort of a project?
Look, at the end of the day, it's not about proving anybody wrong. It's more about proving myself right.
Mm,
Ideally, when going through this process, like if you're not having people think or having people have opinions, you're not doing it right. I play a game where it's viewed as entertainment. It's a unique job that I have. I can't just go on a corporate job and tweet, how I feel about them doing a corporate job. I can't do that. My job is something that's watched. So of course opinions come, and it's fair to have any opinion that they want to have. So that's number one. I understand it. Like it's an entertainment that you're watching, and it comes with playing sports. If you don't like it, don't play the sport. And so I acknowledge that, playing ball. But with our brand, it's an opportunity to look at a model. So certain people, when you go through a process, they need a shoulder to lean on,
hmm.
or they need words of affirmation, you know, the different love languages that they are. That's one. It's just the words of affirmation. Like, reflect on that. This applies in all phases of life:
Yeah.
sports, jobs. It doesn't matter. Your relationship. It is every phase of your life. You can use this simple acronym of LANK. So yeah. So it started off something small, initially, but now it branched out in the whole country, and they're aware of what Lank is. So it's pretty unique.
I want to hear you say, I'm a starting quarterback.
Look, I gotta earn that, but at
Ooh.
some point it will. At 1,000%, I'm a pop it.
When are you gonna be honest with me about this whole hand size thing? What happened? Like, is it after you're drafted? Like, when are we gonna get to the bottom of that riddle?
Look, despite if it was damn 6'9", it don't matter. I can throw the ball like regardless. Like this hand size thing, it don't matter. Like, but like all of it was wrong. Like I get to the combine, and
Yeah.
like I measure my hand, and everybody. So I did my first management measurement. It's really it labeled at a 10 initially.
Oh,
So dude, like the guy that was measuring my hand looked
yeah.
at me, looked back at him, and he pulled his partner to him, started measuring his hand. So I did it again. It was
Yeah.
10 again. So then he like, no, no, something wrong, something wrong. So I had to lean on the thing, and he's pulling my fingers, stuff like that. And they still like they're measuring it at an accurate. It's not. It's now it's 9 or whatever. And so of course it's definitely be way higher than what it was when it first came out there. So I mean, it
Well,
goes
it
to
was,
show.
here's what I
So
have. It was 8 1/3 at Senior Bowl, and then all of a sudden it was 9 3/8.
first, it's funny how this world is because initially, okay, yeah, it happened at the Senior Bowl, and
Yeah.
so of course, fellow teammates and people at the Reese Bowl. I'm not on social media like that, I'm really not.
Mm-hmm.
So they come to me, like, hey, did you see what they put out there? I'm like, what, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they mentioned that to me. All I said was, oh, okay. Like I didn't have like an opinion because ideally, like even if my hand was 8, regardless, I still got to throw the football.
People love talking about like the little centimeters and little conversations. I hear you're going to the draft. Who's coming with?
So I got my immediate family, older brother, sister, parents,
Okay.
and then I got two of my best friends, and then my cousin is joining me.
So everybody's coming to Green Bay?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been to Green Bay, Wisconsin?
Nah, I ain't never been there.
Okay, well, we're gonna make memories there. I'm loving this. Are you done with all of your visits? Everything done?
Yes.
You're done, and you're feeling good. Do you know where you're going? Don't tell me where, but do you have a good? Do you kind of know?
Nah,
You have
I
no
can't. I can't
idea.
tell y'all. No, I can't tell
I'm
y'all.
not saying that, but do you know? Like, do you in your head, like, you kind of know?
Hmm.
I'm so excited. You just get that tattoo this week then. Get it started. I love that for you. You are partnered with USAA. I'm excited to see that tattoo on your body. Official NFL salute to service partner. And I would love to know what you're doing with them. And you visited General Mitchell Air National Guard Base. I've never been. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So USA is a partner of the NFL. And we was me and Ashton Gency, his father, my dad, my father,
Mm,
we were able to travel to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and basically, give a tour of the day in the life of what they go through. But of course, as civilians, we like to recognize and honor them, but it was something special to actually look them in the eyes and address them and tell them how appreciative I am of them. I am a user of USAA. I
okay.
have a credit card of USAA. So I have a first-hand experience of using it and also communicating with them with daily things that comes up with dealing with the company. So I am a user of the company. But the example just to bring my dad there. He mentioned that he got chills as he was there, and just the process it all went. And then also that was a part of his journey of a person, of the man he
Mm,
is today. It started fresh when he went to the military. And so he had a different perspective that was very unique. And also my mom as well. My mom was a corpsman in the Navy. My dad served as a Marine.
mm.
So they both have a background. That's where I was actually born. I was born on Naval Base in 29 Palm, California, outside of Palm Springs. So yeah. So my parents tell me stories, but it's also pretty cool to go and visit and hear other people talk about what their purpose is. So I thought it was a great trip. I enjoyed it tremendously, and also I was able to bring my dad as well, so we was able to enjoy the moment together.
And he served, and thank him, of course, for serving in the Marine Corps during the Iraq War. Your mom, Lola, worked in the medical field, I believe, for the
That's
Navy,
correct.
which is
Yeah.
amazing. Uh, how did that military upbringing and background shape you into the man you are?
Yeah. So discipline, being detail oriented, um, mastering the details of everything, teamwork, resiliency. Those are
Mm,
a couple qualities that they presented my whole childhood that you know reflected me and my siblings as we lived our life, and we always reflected those things. They show what right looks like as parents, and so I'm a reflection of them. As I left their house, in
mm,
2021 when I left their house, it was a reflection of the great parents I had, and the many examples, the many traits that they put onto us, and so it correlates definitely with playing football. Their military background. It's not the same. I'm saying like it's just more the qualities that I've learned from them. And I play quarterback, so teamwork is so
yeah.
important. Being detail oriented, everything as a whole, the preparational phase, the discipline, with your plan and everything. Sometimes you have to sacrifice time hanging out with your
Mhm,
friends, being on your
mhm.
phone, whether going through a game plan, watching tape, asking questions. Um, it's so much that's a part of the process of playing quarterback position that people don't understand. But like I gotta bring it back to my parents, because
Yeah.
they are a key resource to who I am and how I process.
I mean, you toured the military aircrafts, you operated a flight simulator. Who had more fun, you or Ashton?
I'm not gonna lie, it's so funny because like you look at Ashton, right, and myself as well. We have a helmet on, right,
Yeah.
but you don't see the joyfulness that we both have. And end of the day, we just let our hair down, was able to have fun. So I don't know, it was a conversation for sure. He was so excited, man. Like he was, I was excited too, just to go through the simulators and get an understanding of what how it works, how to do new things. And so I remember the first simulator that we did, he went first, He went first,
Uh-huh.
and he did a good job. He did a good job, and he basically passed the torch to me. So like, okay, now I got to live up to
So it's a competition right
yeah, it
away with
definitely
you
was.
guys.
The next one, I went first on that one, and he went next. So we had a good time. Like man,
Yeah.
he was really cool. I enjoyed
Big thanks
being there with
to,
him.
yeah, General Mitchell Air National Guard Base. I'm sure it changes you and you see your parents and all the sacrifice. And you're saying the discipline, the preparation. It's the first thing you said to me when I met you today about I'm prepared. I'm prepared AF. That's who I am as a quarterback. It's amazing. I hope you have the best time in Green Bay. Last one for you. The GM, Andrew Berry, president GM of the Browns, said that you could maybe beat Lamar Jackson in a race. Maybe you're faster than him. Now you're competitive. Are you faster than Lamar?
Accurate,
You said what? You
accurate.
agree? How much? Like you really? I can't wait to see you in the NFL. I just can't wait. That Giants tattoo is going to look really good, I think. It'll be the blue with the logo of the NFL.
Well, I already beat you to it. I have an NFL tattoo that I have placed in my body now. It just embarks the journey, everything that came with that journey. So I do have something. But
Can I
then
see it?
it's on my stomach. So I don't know if it's appropriate right now, but
What is it? Is it just what is it?
so I have the NFL logo on my stomach. I have a bunch of portraits on my stomach, but
Yeah.
it's dead center of my stomach.
When did you get that?
Uh, I think like week and a half ago,
It's
or
fresh.
2 weeks
You have
ago.
a fresh NFL logo tattoo.
Yeah,
Will you get the team logo right away too, you think?
I will.
You do. Have you visualized it? Have you have mocked up a
Yeah,
couple?
I left the place where exactly where I wanted it at. So I got it. I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna get it right below where I got the
Yeah.
NFL
What
tattoo.
logo do you think will look good below that NFL logo?
Yeah, probably the team, but I don't know if I'll do a retro one or one right now. So
Thank you for
yeah.
everything that you are doing to promote USAA, of course, a salute to service partner of the NFL and so much good that they're doing. Thank your parents, enjoy it with your parents, and dap up Roger. Get ready.
All right. Thank you so
Thank
much. I
you so much.
appreciate you.
Nice to meet you.